Hello, everyone. It's day 4. PSAT. I didn't go anywhere. I just closed the door. Thought I left, huh? I didn't. Okay. Number 16. If R represents the average of all the angles of a triangle. Okay, so what? If R represents the average of all the angles of a triangle, and S represents the total of all the angles in a square. Okay, so we're talking about measurements, degrees. This question should say degrees. It should say angle measurements. Okay, so it's implied that we're talking about angle measurements here. So if R represents the average of all the angles of a triangle, well, how many? So there's 3 angles of a triangle, and the average of them, right, is 60 degrees each. Because if it's 180, right, all 3 angles equal 180. The average of them is 60, okay, and that's R. S is the same thing, but we're talking about the average of all the angles of a square. So if I have a square, right, all the right angles are in a square, so there's 4 of them. So that's 360 total degrees, but the average is still 90. Okay? Then R plus S. Well, R plus S is 60 plus 90, which will give me 150. C. See? Told you. I didn't actually tell you anything. Where's my clicker? 17. Okay. Really tough one. Probability. A bag has 7 red balls and 9 green balls. Sorry, I think the light is shining right over here somewhere. 7 red balls and 9 green balls. So we want to find out how many total objects there are in the bag. So 7 plus 9 is 16. So there's 16 total. Okay, and that's important for probability. What is the probability that 2 are picked randomly and they have to be the same color? Okay, this makes it very tricky. So what happens is, because there are 2 different colors, we have to do this probability for both of them individually, and then we have to add them together, okay? So, because I could pick 2 red ones, and then that'd be part of my probability, or I could pick 2 green ones. See, both answers will work. It doesn't have to be one or the other. So we have to do both independently of each other. So, what is the probability if I pick 2 of them that they're both red? Let's start with red first, okay? So, I should probably get a red marker, because I have one. Okay. So, first off, there's 16 total, right? And there are 7 red balls. Okay. So the first selection, first time I reach into the bag, I have a chance or a probability of taking 7 out of 16 because there's 7 red out of 16 total. Now I have to multiply this, okay? The next opportunity, so my first opportunity is this. My second opportunity, let's say I do take a red one out. There's only 6 left. And there's only a total of 15 left, okay? When I have an event like this that is dependent on one another, I've got to make sure I multiply in between, okay? So this is going to end up to be, oh gosh, where's my paper? Where's my paper? 42 over, because I don't have a calculator. 42 over 240. Now, that being simplified will give me 7 over 40, because I have to simplify. Now, be really careful. This is not the answer yet, because I'm talking about one or the other. That's part of my answer, okay? Because this only represents the red probability. Now let's go ahead and work on the green probability. It's the same idea. Let's say the first time I have a 9 out of 16 chance of getting green. That's my first opportunity. Now again, I want 2 that are the same color. So my second opportunity will be 8 over 15, okay? And that gives me 72 over 240. Simplifying that out, will give me 12 over 40. Okay, now, I have to make sure that I represent both probabilities in the same fashion, because the question is asking me randomly picked, but the 2 balls can be the same color, right? So they can be both red or both green. So I have to represent this with addition. So because my denominators are going to be the same here, now I know that we could do this addition otherwise or a calculator, but let's just work it out straight up because I don't know if this is a calculator section or not. We're going to add the numerators together because my denominators are the same, which is going to give me 19 over 40, okay? So my answer is 19 over 40. Really tough question. It's 2 different parts. Do I think you're going to see this on the PSAT? I don't know. You might. But this is a little bit more high level, okay? So just be aware of that. This is probably the hardest question we've talked about so far. Until we get to, oh, not this one. This one's easy. There's another one on here that's hard. The probability of seeing a zebra at a zoo is 1/8. Okay, so that means I've got one zebra out of 8 animals, right? Okay, so how many animals can't be at the zoo? What? Well, keep in mind, zebra animals, we're talking about living creatures. You can't have a half of a zebra. You can't have a quarter of a zebra. It's either 1, 2, 3, like they're discrete numbers. They have to be exactly, like integers. So there can be 8 at the zoo, right? Because 8. There can be 16 at the zoo. So again, I'm circling the ones that don't work actually. Because, 8 times 2 is 16, which means I'm still with a whole number. 32 is going to work too, because 8 times 4 is 32. 42 is my answer for the problem, because I can't divide 8 into 42 evenly. That would give me a decimal, and there's no such thing as decimal zebras. Not that I'm aware of. So D. This is the hardest one we've seen so far, because the other one we didn't see. Yeah, okay. Grocery store. Now, I want to write this algebraically, okay? So 2 bananas and 3 apples cost $7.75. So we're going to write that. 2B, right, for bananas, and means plus, 3A equals $7.75. Now, this is what's called a system of equations. Some of you have seen this already, some of you have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm going to give you 2 opportunities or 2 ways you can figure this out. I'm going to do the algebraic way first, which is to solve the system with elimination. So a system of equations is 2 equations. That's the first one. The second one is 6B and 6A, and that costs $18. Okay, so this is a system of equations. We're going to use elimination to solve it. I am going to multiply the top equation by -3. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to get opposites here, which means I can cancel them out and eliminate them and add them. So my top equation is going to turn to be -6B minus 9A equals negative, what did I write? 20. See, answers. Negative 23.25. Okay, and then I didn't touch the bottom equation. That eliminates, because that just cancels. Now, when I'm adding down, I get negative 3A, and that equals $5, negative $5.25, or $5.25. And then when I divide by -3 on both sides, I get $1.75. So A equals $1.75. Okay, now, I need to substitute A back into one of the A equations so I can solve for B, all right? So, let me get my trusty little calculator here, because I did not solve for B, I only solved for A. All right, so let's go back to the original equation. So 2B plus 3 times the quantity of 1.75 is going to equal $7.75. Okay, so 2B plus, and again, I'm going to put this down, 5.25 equals $7.75. I'm going to subtract 5.25 on both sides. Okay. And then I'm going to have 2B equals $2.50. So if I divide by 2 on both sides, I'm going to get B equals 125. Now, my answer is A. So that's a lot right there. Okay? That is a whole lot. There is another way to do this, and it's kind of the long way. Okay? So our answer choices can help us here. All right. If I had the equation 2 bananas and 3 apples, and I know that's $7.75. 1 banana can't be $4.25, right? Because if 1 banana is $4.25, 2 of them is $8.50, which is more than the total cost. So I know that D cannot work, all right? So use your answer choices to help you. Let's talk about C. Well, 375, right, times 2 is 750. Now, 750 is less than 775, but that would mean that 3 apples total cost 25 cents. That's not going to work out right, because 3 doesn't go into 25 evenly. So I know that C is not my answer either. So I've kind of eliminated 2 choices, and now I have a 50-50 shot. Now, because these are so closely related together, and this is going to be a really time-consuming problem, you're at least at a 50-50 chance to guess this. And yes, I am saying that. I am saying to guess it, but eliminate the choices that you are no, they can't work. So if you are just dead set on getting this question right, let's choose choice A and see if it works mathematically for us. Let's say that a banana is $1.25. So 2 times $1.25 is again $2.50. Okay? Plus 3A equals $7.75. Subtract $2.50 on both sides. And I'm going to have 3A equals $5.25. And then A equals $1.75. Okay. The reason I did that was because I needed to know how much an apple cost. What we're going to do now is, again, we are guessing that this is the answer for bananas. And now we have an answer for apples. We're going to substitute both numbers into the second equation to see if they make a true statement, meaning will the left-hand side equal the right-hand side. So 6B, and B is $1.25, is $7.50. Okay? Plus, and again, I'm using this equation, 6A. Well, we know that A is $1.75. So 175 times 6 is $10.50. And the total of both those things is 18. So the answer is, yeah, this is a true statement because 7.5 plus 10.5 is 18. So that I know that this is true, I know that A has to be my answer. So you are kind of going about doing a system of equations without actually doing a system of equations. No? Maybe? Okay. Okay. So that is going to take a lot of time. And again, my best advice for you is eliminate the choices you know can't work and go from there. Last one, simple one. There's a couple ways to do this. I just like the old school method. You probably will not have a calculator for this one though. So I'm going to simplify the inside of the parentheses first. 3 times 3 times 3. That's what that means. So 3 times 3 times 3 squeaky is 27. And then I'm going to do 27 squared. Okay. So multiply 27 times 27. Right. I'm going to get 729. Not 27 times 2. No, no, no. The other way you can do this is I can multiply those because power to a power rule. So this would be 3 to the 6th power, which is also 729. Hope you enjoyed day 4. Bye-bye.